a post office, whatever the hell. And they're stressing the system. And there's consequences. People that go out and do this stuff, it's not for the faint of heart. If you ain't got any money and you're willing to take the ride, you're going to have to dig deeper, ask for some loans or something. I mean, and that's a lot of people don't think about it. The ones that are out there, and it's nothing negative about them, but we, as veterans, we that need to protect ourselves from a system that's abusing us for misdiagnosing. I mean, the whole gambit, what's happened to both of you and me included. We need to know what our rights are. And I wish that we could get other veteran channels that aren't about the likes, aren't about the subscriber counts. Those are important, but what's the mission? As vets, we need to make sure our brothers and sisters that we serve, regardless of the generations, as far back as World War II, we need to make damn sure that we're all being taken care of and we're being respected for what we've done. And we've paid a price through the body, mind, and soul. And unfortunately, there's just a lot of people, guys, that just don't think that process through. Vets, they just, some guys, the Vietnam vets, for the most guys I know, they don't use the VA. They just go do their thing because those are the guys in their 70s and their 80s. But this forum here, I hope we can get this and do more of it and get more veterans on board. I've gotten some emails. Like I said, I'm going to be getting more emails. It'll be coming out with some pictures. And, I don't release anything, don't disclose anybody's name or any of that crap unless they give me the authority.
You're working on the landing page and stuff like that of the website for, like we're creating a website and a nonprofit and all that stuff in time, but you're working on all that.
And that, obviously that's taking time. For you guys that don't know, I'm out here in the West Texas area. We were in the lowest double digits, 11 degrees, 10 degrees, 8 degrees. And we don't see that often out here. And, you're living in a metal building like a hangar home, and we're pretty well insulated, but I ended up catching a little bit of the nonsense. Of course, when I went up to your neck of the woods in Baltimore, I was, kind of impressed that I didn't have to deal with snow, from what that's worth. I haven't been out to California AVA since I went to Riverside back, in the early 80s. It's always
we had a good time when you came up here to Baltimore. I'd like to play devil's advocate though, real quick on what you touched on with knowing our rights, veterans knowing our rights. It really, I mean, I hate to say this, but it kind of doesn't matter when you're dealing with a dirty, corrupt VA system. It doesn't matter if you know your rights, because I combed through all of the federal statutes, all of the law. I combed through everything before I set off on this journey. I knew what I could do and what I couldn't do. And look at me now. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm literally being charged with 8 counts of felony wiretapping, and I did not break any law. I did not break any federal statutes. I did not break any federal laws. I was on federal property. It's just disgusting what's going on. Like, I shouldn't have to be filing all these motions to a federal court, telling them to, kick the state in the ass and get them to do the right thing. I shouldn't have to be doing that right now, but I am. I'm literally fighting for my life because I advocated for my mental health and physical health. And AVA is the same way. Blind Justice, the same way. Like, literally advocating for your own mental health. And this is what the VA seems to think is conducive to that mental health, is doing what they're doing to us. It doesn't make any damn sense, and it needs to change. And look, and we can learn all the laws and all our rights and as veterans and stuff like that all we want, but I don't know how to say this, but that's not going to fix it. You know what I mean? The only way to fix it, I think, is to crush it, is to get rid of these dirty ass VA hospitals, to stand in front of Congress, get our health insurance like the way everybody else gets their goddamn health insurance, with a damn plastic card and whatever company they're with, you know, to where we can go to whatever hospital that we want to. We can go to whatever dentist we want to. We can go to whatever eye people we want to, and just live like normal people. And maybe, just maybe, 22 veterans ending their watch every day will turn into 18, and then that'll turn into 16, and then we'll start working that number down by getting rid of the dirty ass corrupt VA health system.
Hey, AVA, I know did you want to share a couple things?
Yeah, the first part that I wanted to share with you guys is that the VA, when I first started this journey of pain with them, my third complaint to the White House, the actual technician told me to start recording everything, because you are allowed to record what happens to you. And that was when I started recording. I was actually told by the VA to record the VA. Just wanted to share that.
Okay.
But then the second thing I wanted to tell you guys is that this corruption has affected. There's other people out there, and one person in particular that I want to tell you guys about is I feel bad because I don't remember her name, but she's a female veteran, and she suffered through trauma down there at the VA, and later that evening was attacked by the same officer that took the report after she was assaulted at the West LA VA. And you can go to Mr. Checkpoint's YouTube and you'll find it. It's in there. But
that's the lady who had her daughter and they were sleeping in their car or something like that.
Yeah, and you're allowed to sleep at the West LA VA because that was given to the VA to provide housing for veterans.
Like 900 acres, like 900 acres, and they're worried about 15 square foot of a legal car on VA property owned by a veteran who is being denied housing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that because that's affected me so much, that because I don't know how to help her, and I'm not that far away.
They literally assaulted her and scared the shit out of her daughter.
Well, I remember that, Kevin. And for all the people that are out there watching and listening to this live cast, and I appreciate you guys stopping by. Subscribe, to, if you're not, you're probably on AVA's site, and then of course Angry Vet. And if you decide to subscribe to me, fantastic. I'd recommend that if this really moves you, and if what we're talking to you about what's going on with vets in general at the VA centers, if this pisses you off, put a 1 in the chat, will you? I mean, if it really makes your blood boil, because I'm from the school, I can't watch some of this stuff. I mean, it makes me so fucking mad, pardon my French, guys, that it just, and we're talking a behemoth of an organization. I actually I have an article that I've got that I can post later on that talks about the lack of qualifications for the VAPD. And this was done, I think, in mid 2000s or 2016 or something. And this person actually went through some numbers of what's going on. But again, it's pretty sad when you have to go in there on crutches, on a ventilator or whatever, and you're having to see why you have to think that you have to, everybody, you can be polite. I mean, you get what you give. And if someone gives you crap, you bow up or whatever you do. I'm from the school, if you're going to cop an attitude with me, I'm going to let you know you don't need to have an attitude if you're in the Veterans Administration, and talk to any veteran with any kind of disdain. And I'll make a scene about it. That's just me, the way I'm built. And my whole thought is, and my whole concerns are, again, we need to aggregate, get a bunch of vets around and start getting this movement moving. That's the key here. we, you know, not forgetting everybody else, but us vets were a huge number of people in the United States, and all the guys that came back from Iraq, Afghanistan, you know, like Kevin said, 22 guys take their lives today. And I came across one YouTube channel where the guy, and I can't remember it, but he was literally crying on the YouTube channel. He's a vet. He was talking about
Yes.
killing himself. You remember that?
Yep. That man, that blew me away. And I tried to share that with my patient advocate, and they were like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Oh, you know,
I wanted to get help for that guy. You know?
well, what I try to do, you know, I go out to, I've got a lot of resources, and if I can try to track a person down, I've got enough people in the know, and I've got connections, and you know, just because of the years I've been around, I can find about anything I want on anybody I choose to. I mean, they say, "Oh, you can't find anything about me." I've had more people say, "How'd you get this stuff?" It is what it is. I've got connections. And when I see something like that, I try to do the research and get my guys working on it and say, "Hey, find this guy. We need to get somebody's help."
Some
That's
vets
what
don't
people need
want
to
it
do.
though. Some vets don't, and that's I've come across that a lot, and I actually came across that with that particular individual.
Mm.
Some veterans just don't want that kind of help. They want to be in their own world, and it's completely understandable. And like I know exactly who you're talking about, but I'm not going to mention his name. But he wanted to get into training canines, and then he just kind of disappeared. And you
Hey,
know,
give him
talked
my name,
about,
Kevin. Give
huh?
him my name. Hey, that's what I did for years, dude.
I listen. I was about to hook him up with you, and then some things kind of weren't making sense to me, and then he started he started being a recluse, and he kind of like just distanced himself from everybody that was trying to reach out and help him. Melissa Stedman was trying to help him for a little while,
Who was
but
that?
that was one of my mods.
Okay.
But yeah, it's that's the way it is. A lot of these veterans are just a little too proud to they'll let you listen to their story, and that's what I try to stress to just about everybody is you know, when you start talking to a veteran, just listen, because sometimes that's all they need, is they just need to be listened to. And a lot of veterans are like that. They want you to listen. They want you to hear what they're saying. But then the minute you kind of try to interject or give some constructive criticism or help or whatever, they completely shut down. Completely understandable. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying a lot of people just don't know how to approach, veterans, and that needs to be worked on. There, that's something that's a problem in the community that needs to be addressed, I think.
Well, you're right. You're absolutely 100% right. You know, there are people that want to be listened to, and I'm guilty of just, giving my advice where it's not needed. That's for damn sure. Even though I've got a training site that talks about that stuff. But, when you meet somebody on a personal basis and you see the eyes, you see the, eyes are windows of the soul. When someone sees you and can visualize you as a person, genuine spirit comes across. I don't know if the rest of you guys in this feel that way, but when I look to somebody, and I've got the FBI training on interrogation, all that bullshit, I can tell somebody if someone's bullshitting me or someone's absolutely 100% genuine. And you're right. I met a vet when I was in Florida, Vietnam vet, and as I've said to all my vets, regardless, I said, "Hey, thanks for serving, brother." When he was getting out of his car, this guy just went off on me. I mean, like I've never heard before. And he's got the DV plates, disabled vet plates, using the handicap spot, all that. And I looked at him, I go, "Well, I wanted to say I'm a vet too, bud, but welcome home." He was a Vietnam vet. Oh, and he went off and on that tangent. And I kind of just said, "Well, hey, if you really hate it that bad, turn in the plates. You know, go out in the rural market and just complain out there. I said, I've got enough Vietnam friends who, wish they'd have been welcomed back with wide open arms, which they weren't. So Kevin's right. You tiptoe around this subject and you just see if there's a need. I mean, you just, concern. I mean, when I saw Kevin, I met Kevin for the first time on audio on a telephone call. And I don't know if you remember this, Kevin, but, I was kind of asking some questions, making sure you're okay. You were up at a cabin.
Well,
and I thought,
I knew it was an interrogation. I'm no dummy. I went to school for that shit. I know. I knew you were Wicklandering me.
oh my God. Well, just making sure, brother. I didn't want you to do a live stream and not be there. But hey, you knew I was genuine, brother.
Oh yeah. And that's another thing that this community needs to address is the veterans against veterans. That doesn't make any damn sense to me. Like, why any veteran would think that their service was more important than anybody else's service, or their combat experiences are more important than other people's combat experiences, or whatever the case may be, and throw shade on another veteran is not only disgusting but immoral. Like, where the fuck are your morals? If like, don't get me wrong, veterans can be assholes too. Like, look at me, I'm an angry asshole, but and you're not going to like everybody, but there should be, and I don't want to say brotherhood and camaraderie because then I just start feeling like I'm gravitating towards that blue line bullshit. But there needs to be a mutual understanding that once you know that somebody's legit, enough. Be done with your bullshit. Like, okay, that's great. You thought they were fake, whatever. Be done with it. The minute you find out that, yeah, okay, they're real, be done. Like, stop with the bullshit. Like, you're not fucking Superman. You're not the FBI. You did what you had to do. You got the information that you needed. Your investigation is over. Be done.
Well, very well. Hey, very well said. I've not encountered that. I was between wars. I'm a post-Vietnam guy, and we had, I don't know, Panama was going on when I was in, and all that bullshit, and I didn't get sent over there. So, and what you said, I've not encountered, but I agree with you. For the guys that have been in combat, combat vets have been shot at. What I did, I've been shot at. In a different capacity, different era, but bullets are bullets. I don't care who you are. So I understand it's a different mindset. And I respect guys and gals who have been in the heat where, they won't hear the bullet that takes them out. Or like Flex, Flex has got his friends that have died in his arms. And so I honestly thank these guys, they've done something I haven't done. I haven't been in active combat, but irrespective, you're absolutely right. For veterans that think they're better, I've got friends that are Navy SEALs. They don't think they're any better than anybody else. These guys are humble. When you've got a special set of skills and you can thump somebody and take them out, if you know what I mean, you're a different mindset. So someone that puts you down or makes you feel less than, not much of a person in my book. And let me say this up front for everybody that's in here. I don't tolerate trolls. I've had people make comments about Blind Justice, about AVA, about Angry Vet. I will block you and I will delete you in a heartbeat. You are not welcome. If you don't have a guts to sign the bottom line, and you're going to talk smack about something you know nothing about other than sitting behind a freaking keyboard and monitor, thinking you're all that, you don't need to be. And that's what's unique about YouTube. The trash of the world can look in on us from all over the world as you look in your analytics. What countries are looking at me today? So, and I know, Kevin, you probably see a lot of different countries unless you've blocked them. But again, you're right, and I appreciate that. And the way you approach veterans is very unique. I mean, you thank them for sure. And some guys are very humble. They, well, you don't need to thank me. And what I've done in the past, and I will continue to do, is, I see somebody in an active uniform, I'll buy their meals. And I see somebody that's, come in with a Purple Heart, whatever the case might be, on their plates on their vehicles. I actually go to the restaurant owner and say, whoever owns that car, and they'll tell me who it is, I'll buy their meals. And
Yeah,
I don't want them to know.
I never did that. I never started doing that until it happened to me one day. Like, it never even crossed my mind, to be honest with you, to do anything like that until it actually happened to me when Angie and I were sitting at the bar and we're ready to leave. And the next thing you know, I'm trying to pay the check and the bartender's telling me that it was already paid for. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? What are you talking about? And then she pointed to a table. And I walked over and I'm like, hey, you didn't have to do that. And he's like, oh, I'm a brother. I know what I'm just paying it forward. And I started crying. He stood up, hugged me. And I had no clue how he even knew. I had no idea how he even knew. And apparently I was wearing a sweatshirt of some sort that had veteran on it or whatever. And, yeah, that we need more of that in this country. That it's just not, it's not there. Like, I don't want to get too political, but I mean, we're giving all these people housing and money and food and spending billions of dollars on these people that don't belong here. Well, maybe not don't belong here, but that aren't
got here the wrong way.
Right, got here a certain way, but we don't have, like, where's that money for all of our homeless people that need homes and houses, and not just veterans, but just homeless in general? Like, why aren't we taking care of our own people? And that's the mindset that everybody needs, but apparently half of the country doesn't feel the same way.
Well, they have nothing at risk. I live close to the border, within a couple 100 miles, and I've got friends down there, and I'm going to tell you, it's an invasion down south. I've got friends that are part of the border patrol, and here in Texas, what's going on? Abbott is got the guard out there stopping them from coming across, because this government's allowing anybody and everybody just to come on in. And for people that don't fulfill your racist, I'm not at all. I'm half Brazilian, so you can take that out of your mind. Nothing racist about that at all. It's a matter of security. If you're so led to allow everybody in, don't lock your doors at night. Keep your doors wide open. Let somebody come in. That's what's happening. And 9/11 happened. I remember very, very specifically where I was when it happened. And with the amount of idiots that are coming across right now, and the people that you can't vet, 6 million plus, there's bad actors coming across that border.
Oh, 100%.
It's not a question of if, it's a question of when.
Well, what opened my eyes the other day to some crazy shit, like everybody knows that it's happening, right? But it doesn't resonate in your heart until you actually like see something that doesn't make any damn sense. And I was watching something on YouTube the other day, and there was this group of people down at the border, and it was probably like 50 to 100 of them, and they were all adult males and from China. Like, how the fuck? Like, I don't understand. Like, how does that even happen? How are Chinese immigrants down at our fucking borders?
Illegals
down there. Like, I don't understand that one bit. Like, how does a group of 100 get down there to begin with? Like,
well, a lot of people don't think about it, and some people have made the comment, how do they get the charged cell phones, good shirts, food?
They all had clean shoes, clean shirts. Yeah. They all had cell phones. They were all texting on their cell phones and shit. Like, it was like literally an aha moment. Was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Well, there's a guy named James O'Keefe, O'Keefe Media, He's an investigative journalist. He's a citizen journalist. He owned, I can't remember the company that his board of directors kicked him out because he was just in anybody's face. But O'Keefe Media, he exposed a whole boatload of these illegal holding facilities all over the nation that are held by NGOs, national government organizations, I think is what that means. I could be wrong, but irrespective of that, that's money that's being taken away from veterans and from the homeless in the U.S. When I've traveled overseas, anywhere I've ever been, I've always said the people in that country are first because it's their homeland. End of story. I'm a visitor. I'm a foreigner in whatever country I go to. I'm not going to try to push my American values on any country I've ever been to. It's not my right to do that. And here in the U.S., we're such a melting pot. My mother came from Brazil many years ago. She came legally and all that good stuff. So again, with what's going on with our veterans and what's going on with you two guys, specifically in the way that you have been poorly treated, is just egregious. And I want to say it's yeah. And I want to say, I appreciate you guys for coming on and being on part of this live cast, and we'll do something else down the road, no doubt. Our minds will come together and bring some more folks on, and get you guys and gals that are out there. If you know some vets that are having problems, have them email me, please, because I would like to, at least get some information to help these guys and gals. Send it to that email right there, contact@reportabusebytheva.com. I also have a new YouTube channel that's Report Abuse by the VA. Report Abuse by the VA. Please do that. Take a screenshot of this if it's important to you. But I just got to say, guys, I know you're busy, and I know with AVA being out in the left coast, having some work done on his place, and I appreciate him making the time. You got any parting words there, Mr. AVA? Some words of wisdom and what you would like to have people do to advocate on your behalf to get this freaking thing done, because you're on a ticker and you know it.
Yeah.
Yours, brother.
I don't know. I don't know what you can do. The only ideas that I have is approach your Congress representative, file a report on my behalf, to the White House complaint line. Try to go as high as you can, because I'm at a wall. And I'm literally, like Flying Auditor said, I am on a timeline. I'm ticking away. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm 39 years old, and the VA doesn't give a crap. And I have a freaking pacemaker.
That's scary. Hey, Kev, you want to say something to close us out, brother?
Yeah, I got a couple things to say. You know me.
Tell me, brother. Hey, no happy smoke, huh?
I want people to see me. So I haven't really been showing a whole lot of the process of this criminal proceedings and stuff like that with the VA, because when I'm done with it, I will show everybody, or I'll let you do one of these panels. I think this would be a good landing page for stuff like that, so it keeps not only does it keep my channel a little cleaner and streamlined, but I think this page right here, if somebody hasn't shared this link yet, this is the page where we should all, as veterans, get together and talk about these things.
You talking about that one?
Yeah. Yep.
Report Abuse by the VA. That's the new channel.
Yep. And then we'll get that going, and then I'll give you all the documents, all the motions, all the things, and you can do your thing with it, and I'll come up and everybody can have a good party. But I want to tell the crowd, the people in chat, the people in your chat, and the people in AVA's chat, if you're not liking this video, if you're not hitting the like button, or you're not grabbing the link to this video and sharing it to your community page or whatever social media is your favorite or whatever, then you are part of the problem. Simple. It's fact. You can sit there, and I might lose subscribers for this, but you can sit there and talk your game all day long and chat to everybody and how you're for this and you're for that and you're pro this and you're pro that. But if you're not actively taking interest as far as spreading the stories, getting the word out, sharing these atrocities that the VA is doing to us, then you're part of the problem. And that's as simple as I can say it.
Well, brother, you guys, AVA, is it goodbye, mahalo? Is that right?
No, it's aloha. But mahalo
Aloha,
is
that's
thank
right. Aloha is hello and goodbye.
and love. It's an all around word.
It's just like the New Yorkers say, fucking this, fucking that. Culo. Guys, I'm keeping this at an hour so people can do their thing. I appreciate you both for your time. Love you both. You guys keep on rocking. And if you want to stay in a little bit, I've got it set up to where I'm able to download each of you individually in your audio, just to let you know. Okay. So keep it done, and I'll let you know when it ends. Okay.
All right.
I appreciate everybody being on board. Remember to think of it. Remember to advocate for someone who needs it. And let me close out. I'll end. Well, y'all have already seen this one, but send me anybody that you know. Everything's confidential. I don't release anything unless somebody authorizes me. You tell me, because your story needs to be told if you're being abused or you know somebody's being abused by the VA. So we'll say goodbye. God bless America. God bless our troops. We're out of here.
Love y'all.